favorite Bronx Baltimore besties, right? I feel like that's the new hashtag. We they favorite Bronx Baltimore besties. Like what? The triple B's.
No, seriously though.
On an episode of Life is
Seriously,
Lifing.
well, the high combo. You said life is life.
Life is life, and like I feel like this was a week where that was heavy on the hustle. I feel like I was juggling so many different things in the air that at one point I was just like, "F it
I feel
all."
like
I just
I
need.
know I told God take me off the strongest warrior package.
Didn't we ask for that? I feel like at least 3 years in a row.
I'm gonna stop asking. That's what I'm at with it. I'm gonna stop. This ain't working.
Well, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna take that as we are the strongest soldiers. You know, we was built for this. That's
I
it.
want to be
That's
though.
all I can. That's all I can say.
I don't want to be though. I don't want to be Lord. I don't feel strong no more. I don't.
Yeah, and I was telling people recently, I was like, I think that the grind or the art of the hustle has been embedded in me since a wee lad, right? I feel like I've always been like focused on different missions and I've always had to work extremely hard. And then I feel like I always became preoccupied with
Mm-mm.
if other people were on their hustle too or trying to help them get on their grizzy. I had a wake up call this week and was
I heard
like,
that.
damn, I gotta start letting that go. Yeah, like I'm one of those people where I'm like, if I'm hustling and I'm getting it, I try to impart the wisdom of the hustle to others so they can perfect their grind. I feel like maybe that's
You
in
want to bring
me.
people with you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But you know what? I feel like there's a
Like,
part
because it's one of
where,
those things where you want to be around like-minded people.
see, I feel like a major part of the hustle is being able to network and navigate different spaces, right? So honestly, I've been attending a lot of different events. And New York City is a great place to really, really like pop out and go to a lot of curated cultural events, even things that you don't expect, right? Like I
Mm.
went to an event recently called Baddies in Tech, and it was just like really, really dope. It was meeting a bunch of different women and men because it was called Baddies and Zaddies in the tech industry. And it was meeting a lot of different people who navigate that field. A lot of the times you don't get to see men and women of color who are dominating in the tech field and like just able to teach you how to navigate and be a creative and aspire to careers that yield a lot of wealth. And I was like, and just the people, the energy was so cool. I met women from all over, there were men from all over, and the vibes were cool and people wanted to build like lasting connections. So I do feel like a part of the hustle nowadays is that you got to be able to go into spaces with an open mind and just have a willingness to like meet different people.
For sure. And I feel like it becomes one of those things where, like you said, it's not just going to certain events. You can network, and I see people do it all the time. You can go to a cookout and you can network. You can go to a family function. You can go somewhere with somebody's friend who's having a kids party. It's so many places you can randomly go and be surprised at the networking you will do and who you will meet and who will be in places that will get you other places and in higher places. And I see it happen all the time. Like you do sometimes have to be mindful of how you carry yourself because you will be in situations where all these people around you are doctors, lawyers, they are in higher positions, they are in places that things can shake and move.
You ever heard the expression they said stay ready so you don't got to get ready? So there's something cool that I had
You ain't lying.
downloaded. It was an app that allows for you to create a business card to share your social media contacts with people off the fly if you need to exchange information. Because that's often where you lose people. Is like you can engage in a fire conversation with somebody for like an hour and then walk away from that person and be like, dang, we didn't even exchange information. And you never know if you're going to see that person again. So I started to get myself set up in a space where I'm
That's
like,
right.
be prepared to exchange. That's how you build lasting relationships with people because like you said, I could be at the hair salon, I could be at the cookout. Like it doesn't matter where you go. You could be sitting at a bus stop. And honestly, like I've had conversations with people in so many different spaces that yielded results, right? That really turned into like, hey, like I know the owner of that store. And if you go over there, you could get 10% off over there. Just say my name and let them know you need a birthday cake for that event. My cousin May twice removed. And guess who she did a birthday cake for? Um, do you know what was like one of your best networking experiences? What was one time that you popped out to anything, an event, an activity?
So honestly, I remember, and it's so crazy because, like you said, it was just a random thing. I remember I had a friend who was going to dinner, and she invited me to dinner pretty much. So we go to dinner and pretty much end up being at a table full of like influencers and people who were trying to get off the ground, building businesses, business owners, like a whole bunch of things. And we didn't even realize it. And you had a conversation, you start networking with these people and realize like we all have similar goals. So now we're like having this hustle conversation where we're trying to build each other up. What can we do to help each other? Like, oh, what's your business? Oh, you can come support me. I'll support you. And it was like, it shocked me because like, honestly, when I tell you, it was like a regular dinner too. I mean, like we went to go eat crabs, like that, like seriously, like we were eating crabs at like a restaurant, getting down, cracking crab legs. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. And we were over there like, yo, you on what? Okay, sit, okay. And it was like that. And I was like, you would be surprised. And that's why I said I always tell people like, you have to be mindful sometimes of how you carry yourself, no matter where you are, because you never know the people that are around you.
That's a fact. That's why I think like words have power and how you communicate with people is very important. Treating people with kindness. So I went to this event and I was like, I'm watching people kind of do business pitches so that they can get money to fund their companies, right? And there was a girl sitting next to me, and some people weren't pitching, some people were just attending, and you had the opportunity to like send money if you really like their business pitch. So I was just one of those people who was attending the event, and I was like, yeah, you know what? If I like what I'm hearing, I'm going to float a little cash or whatever the case is, because I do believe in us growing and establishing our brand, especially people of color. Like, I'm going to root for us. So I'm going to show up to the function. So this girl is just sitting next to me having like casual conversation. We're talking about anything from like beauty, cosmetics, but to hair, to people, to life, family, friends. And we're cracking up. Like, we are having a blast. Little do I know, she's one of the presenters. That girl ended up winning the big business pitch and got her whole business funded. And she's now like one of the only like black owned nail companies. Like, she makes nail polish that's non-toxic to black women, so it doesn't create situations where it messes with their
Okay.
hormonal reproduction. And I was like, and the sister was dope. Like, she was like the sweetest person. And I found out, she was like, yeah, like I started making this nail polish in my basement. She was like, I've been making this, I was whipping it up in my basement. I just wanted something that didn't hurt us. And it was so organic and it was so chill and relaxed. And just me and her was a whole vibe. And I was like, you see, like, it comes from the simple connections. And I had another opportunity where I
It
went out
do.
to a college event, right? And it was somebody who was like, hey, come out to this event. But it was supposed to be largely for, I want to say, some high school kids and a lot of like grown women, but it was a lot of high school kids who were encouraged to go out. But I wanted to hear some of the presentations, so I went to this event. Lo and behold, it's a radio host that's out here who she threw this event. And like, I was asking some questions because I really wanted to learn more about a certain aspect of my career. And she had a lot of great people up there speaking. So I was like, knowledge is power, right? So I'm gonna step in the room, I'm gonna ask questions. So at the end of the event, she comes and she pulls me to the side and we start chatting. And I'm like, oh, like for real? She's like, yeah. She's like, yo, take my contact information. Like, let's chop it up a little bit further. And I was able to pick her brain and asked her like about different business moves or things that I was interested in, and she gave me solid advice. And
Yes.
I would have never thought to even engage in conversation or thought that she would want to engage in conversation, because this is your event, right? Like, this is a bigger platform. And it was really cool that she took the time. And I was like, you
Mm-hmm.
can never put yourself in spaces where you're scared to communicate with other people. You never know what it's going to yield. And that's why I say sometimes just like
Let me
showing
tell
up
you.
authentic, like we said in the first episode, and being able to communicate with people and not being afraid to show up and shine, it could turn into something that you never
Mm.
thought.
Yeah, cause like let me tell you, like even like the job I have now, right? And of course I ain't gonna say their names or nothing, but like when before I even had this job, when I tell you like not knowing, just minding your business, walking around, strolling, you in the break room, you doing different things. Because I worked in the building, I just didn't have that job. And literally, when I say like they took me under and was like, hey, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna revamp your resume. Like one was like a business major, like we're gonna do this, and this, and like pretty much the job I have now, like just set me up for it. And I was like, yeah, like you'd be surprised going in that break room. And at first, I will say, I will be honest, I'll tell people because everybody know I'm definitely one of the people that will stay at my desk, do my little job,
You
and
and
go home. I'm definitely one of those people. I'm definitely one of those people, so I'm not gonna act like, oh, I'm trying to help others, but I need to listen to my own advice sometimes. But when I tell you I'm one of those people, but I have learned that some of the best connections that I have made is because somehow I done stepped my butt into a break room and I done had a conversation with somebody. And when I tell you the life I'm at now, I would not be at if I did not probably step into a break room, heat up my little tea in a coffee mug, and talk to some people, have a conversation, this, that, and the third, heat up my little string beans. I would not be where I was today, and I can say that.
Say I turn on two different modes. Like when I'm at work, sometimes I'm locked in into what I'm doing. I'm trying to get certain stuff done. And you don't want everybody to see every aspect of your personality all at once, right? Because like I said, work mode day
That's
is
right.
different than outside of work day, right? It's different energies. So sometimes when I'm with people that I know from work outside of work, they're like, wow, I didn't know that you did this and you be doing that. And then girl, you be going here, and then they got to know me in a different light. So I got to know a different type of networking off route, right? Because everybody can't get exposed to everything at the job. The job, the 9 to 5,
That's a
you got to
fact.
know how to separate sometimes. But I will say this: that I had some great women that I work with. And I remember they used to say to me all of the time, they're like, yo, you don't want to come to the little calf area and just kick it. I'm like, no, I'm good. I got my food.
I'm
We
all
we
right.
we cool.
I'm
And
okay.
they like, how come you never wanna? I was like, no, no, no. Like, trust me, outside of here, you asked me to go for a cocktail, I'm cocktailing. Like, but I was like, inside of here, I carry myself just slightly differently. You know what I'm saying? The energy still exists outside
Mm-hmm.
of work, but how I carry myself in work, there's a certain way that I want to uphold because, like you said, you never know who's watching, right? And you never know what other connector points you can make. In the downstairs office, it's the security guard at the door who opens
The
up the
mail
closet.
room. It's the
It's the
mail
mail
room.
room.
It's everybody.
There's so many times that, like, just by, I said, carrying yourself a certain way. And I said that always starts off with like just generally having a positive disposition. I like to say good morning to people. Like, I'm old school. I'm like one of those people who say, did I go to bed with you last night? Like, when you see somebody, you're supposed to greet them. And I feel like I greet everybody in the building, in the space. I give everybody a friendly smile, regard.
I understand. That's why I'm like, yeah, I had become one of those people because I definitely, like you said, I'll be in one mode where I'm like, hey, I came here for this. But then I did learn like how many connections I made actually like being in person to hold a conversation, do this, talk to different people. And you already know when it comes to personality, your personality is going to hit with certain people where they're going to feel comfortable, be like, yeah, you seem like somebody who I should tell this information to. You seem like somebody who will take use of this situation, who will strive and be better. And people will see stuff in you, and that's how you get a lot of opportunities too.
And that's I will say that that always yields. So, after you really do sit down and you have healthy conversations with people, because like I said, like-minded individuals know how to gravitate to one another in a room. You will find each other across a crowded room and be like, sis, I see you. For some reason, I feel like I know what the vibe is. And I was like, men and women alike. There are so many people that will
I
just
felt
come
your
up to me and be
energy.
like, I felt your energy. And I said, positivity goes a long way too. Just like I said, stepping into a room, owning your presence, owning your space, being willing to engage in different types of conversation. Like, I tell people I could talk to somebody about anything. Like, yesterday I had a conversation about anime. Now, I am not a heavy anime watcher. I will not lie to people, but I was
Hey,
interested. I was like, teach me the game, Ghost, right? So many people out here watching anime, like from the president to the pope. I don't know who's out here, but they may enjoy it. So I want to know what you know. Like, what is it about this content? And like, teach me what are the ones that people are watching. And then, like, as I learned from that and I checked certain things out, it was like it built my threshold to learn why people, and there's a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people are into that type of
mm-hmm.
content, that it
First of
changes
all,
your
no,
conversation
I'm not no more.
different
Everybody I know is
ways.
watching anime for some reason. And I ain't gonna lie, I done low key got into it myself a little bit. I ain't a hardcore, like I ain't there yet. Like you ain't gonna see me at no Comic Con, whatever they call it. Nothing like that. I watched a little couple episodes here and there. I can name a couple, that I done watched it and caught my attention.
But it's something to learn from everybody. Like, I actually would attend something like this. There's an event out here called Culture Con that I really want to attend. another like major
Okay.
networking event where people get to meet each other and exchange experiences. But Comic Con, like you mentioned out here, I was like, there's a lot of creatives out there. I want to meet some dope graphic designer. Turn us into, like I say, we the Bronx Baltimore baddies right now. Turn this into a little comic book strip. Have us as superheroes and stuff. Give me some Sailor Moon powers, all of
That's
that.
the
Like,
thing,
I
right?
want to get busy with a pen. Like I said, I went to
You
the
know
event.
what?
I was like, I'm a developer. I want to meet the cartoonists.
I'm dead. You know, like I said, don't get me wrong. I could go like just to say I tried it, but it's not like it's on my top to do list right now. I'm not like a hardcore like. I feel like them ones that go to Comic Con be die hard. They be ready. They be in they costumes. They got it together. I ain't there
You
yet.
know,
I know a couple episodes. I could tell you a couple things. That's
yeah,
all I got.
you
But I ain't that
put
deep
on a
yet.
Naruto headband. You have to put on a Demon Slayer hoodie. You not ready?
No,
Speaking
I ain't that deep yet. But I watch.
speaking
I
of
even
deep
watch their
anime,
movies and watch.
networking. I was networking with somebody. See now I know. I know the tea. But
I'm dead.
a big part of it too is like I think that's a part of our personalities. We come in with that energy, and like I said, that's a part of the hustle that we bring. We know how to navigate in different spaces, and I can't say that that's innate to everybody. Some people do struggle with socialization and building a sense of community around them. It's not always easy to go into a room and just make yourself comfortable, right? I think that a lot of people, because they've
No.
experienced judgment or they've had negative experiences, it's not always like easy to say like, hey, I'm going to try something different or speak to someone different. And so I always think like, as we're talking about like teaching the art of the hustle, I found myself always being a connector. Like I like to bring people in spaces with other people. And then to some point I feel like, hmm, am I enabling you? Because like I constantly have to like pair relationships. Like some people who may not naturally gravitate in certain spaces, I'm like, hey, come to this function. Hey, I want you to try this out. I want you to meet this person. I want to get you in connection. I want to get you in front of the right people in the right spaces. But after a while, I feel like I'm taking away the agency for them to
Mm.
be able to do it by themselves or to aspire to do it by themselves.
I feel like it can be those two part things. You do have some people that's like that, right? Where it's kind of like you feel like you have to be the one to put them in a room. But then also sometimes it's one of those things where you do have people that like I sometimes they don't see the light in them yet. And I feel like you're helping them be around people for them to see the light, and then from there they will take off. They will do what they need to do, or whatever the case may be. And then you have some people that just like they ready for it, and it's just you have to put them in the right opportunity at the right time, and they gonna take it straight out. Like it ain't gonna be no
Yeah, but you
questions
got to
when
be
they
able
take
to
it.
separate.
So it's
You
one
got
of
to
those
separate
things.
those.
Yeah, you definitely have to separate because what you say?
I said there's a lot of people who will pick up the ball. I'm not going to stun. There's some people that as soon as you introduce them to a connection, they'll pick up the ball and they'll run with it, and then you got Michael Jordan on your hands and they dunking,
Find out.
and that's just the reality. But then there's some people, like I said, it becomes an expectation. They want you to bring. They want to come with you in every space, but they want you to do all of the pairing. They want to sit at the table and they want to eat, but they don't want to do the legwork that sustains it. And that's the reality. Like I always say this to people, like once you make a
But
connection,
see,
once you are brought into the room, it's not my job to sustain a relationship for you. It's now your job to meet different people in this space and work on sustainability and to continue building and growing
but
those
see,
relationships.
but that's the thing. Do you want to be brought in the room because you want to work the room, or do you just want to be brought in the room because I'm in it? That's where it becomes a little thin line too. Do you want to be brought in the room because you know you deserve to be in this room, and hey, I got something to bring to the table, and I got something that I'm trying to do, and where I'm trying to go in my potential, or do you just want to be in the room because I'm in the room and you want to say you in the room with me?
Now, you know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think that some people want to be in the room because they want to experience it. They want to have access to another world, right? Like no matter what it is. Like I said, I've
Well,
never been to Comic Con or anything like that. Right? I've never been to that event. But if I knew somebody was like, "Hey, I'm the leader
mhm.
of the Comic Con event," I know that I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna socialize. Shit, I will put on Batman's cape. I don't care about none of that. Like I'm gonna do it because I feel like there's something to learn. and potential connections and an environment that I can experience and enjoy myself. Now, there are some people who are like, I'm simply just going to go because I want a gift bag, I want some treats, and they want to sit at the VIP table. But like I said, they don't want to move on anything that
They
they
want the
learned. They don't
perks.
want to
I
take.
feel like some people want the perks that come with you.
People want the
I
blessings
feel like
without the
some people just want the
lessons.
perks that comes with you.
Yeah.
That's it, right there. Look at you. Wow, slogan
Mm-hmm.
for the year.
Right. They want the
Because
blessings.
that's what it is.
Yes, that's a fact.
That's it. Put it, smack it on a t-shirt. Look it. Because no, that's a fact. Because the thing is, you want to be in the room, but you don't want to do none of the work. You want to come in the room because you know I'm in the room and I'm aware of the room, and you want to say I know her. No, 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 no. I want them to say they know us. Become somebody too. You got potential,
And I see that happen in so
and
many
that's the
different
thing
other
about the
ways.
hustle. We all can make it.
So, we were saying like we were redefining the term hood, right? Hustling off of others daily. There's a lot of people walking around my hood, your hood, a hood near y'all, that they are hustling off of others daily. Like basically they are built no, they like I said, and it's one thing to to be around somebody and to look at them and say, hey, you know what, that person serves as an example. And I'm gonna use that example and I'm gonna try to figure out how to chart my own course. And there's another one that goes like, man, yo, they really about to do it. And when they do it, I'm gonna attach myself to it and I'm gonna jump on top of that person's bandwagon and that's how I'm gonna go about my business.
And
And I
ride
think
it.
that that's correct, right? Because we have this conversation all of the time. It's about like human beings, the human experience, that there's so much to say about how we grow as people. And you want the people in your circle and around you to be supportive, to also challenge your growth, right? If you're not somebody who can push me towards my greatness or expose me to new things, if I'm always exposing you and feeding you new information, showing you new stuff, taking you new places, I need you to pour that back into my cup as well. I need for all of my friendships and all of my relationships to feel like cultural exchanges.
No, seriously though. But I feel like you said, it should be on both ends because I feel like as a person, you shouldn't want me to be sitting up here draining you either. The thing is, it's kind of like that one comment you made where you was like, if your friends, the one you said your sister told you, where it was like, if your friends can't pull X amount of money together, that quote, we should all be doing
You need,
something together. We should all be in a place.
period,
Go ahead, what you
period.
about to say?
That quote was
Yeah, we
your
should we should
network
all
is
be
your
in a
net.
place.
Yeah.
Yes, we should all be in a place where we're making it make sense. Now, granted, sometimes you are in a situation where somebody might be a little further along than you. Okay, cool, not a problem, or whatever. But if you see the potential in your friend, you will know when to put them in a position for certain things. Just like if you were doing something and you're like, you know what, I know this is something that she should be at. This is something that she should come to. I should give her a ticket or she should be invited. She should come to this cookout. She should do whatever. Yeah, back and forth. And it's one of those things where we should be pulling each other, especially if you know somebody has potential or what they want, what they're trying to get done, this, that, and the third. Or even if, like I said, sometimes even if they don't see it in their subject, because a lot of people, it takes some time. Just like me and you, we didn't start off like, granted, are we hustlers? Yes, for sure. We always been hustlers. That ain't never been a problem. But did we always see ourselves doing what we doing now? No, somebody had to come and say, hey, y'all should do this. Y'all should do this. These people, y'all should speak and let people hear y'all.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, Ashley. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Fred. I would say it just like this. It has. If you ask anybody who knew me since a kid, they say, "Who you want to be?" Oprah. Not on some real stuff.
Not Oprah. You back on Oprah.
Don't do
Oprah,
Oprah.
please. Oprah, please give us
Always
a TV show,
Oprah.
Oprah. Golly. You just saying Oprah for the
Yes. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, because you get a car, you get a car, you
please.
get a
And
house,
Oprah,
you get a
please.
house. All right. I want me to be Oprah
Hey,
too. Okay.
Oprah, please. Give us a TV show. And
No,
Oprah,
I'm
if we
saying it
can't
like
follow,
this.
we'll
This is
take you to. Look, at this point, seriously.
always in. This is the thing. I would say you may not know to every extent that you're gonna do something, but I knew that I always wanted to use my voice in service of others.
Mm-hmm.
Was the main thing. I always knew I wanted to use my
I
voice in
understand that.
service of others. I may not have seen how I wanted to go about it, but I knew that in any way that I could do it, I was going to make it happen. And so because growing up this wasn't available to us back in the day, but it is now. So I feel like we always been people who've been for the people. We always been about community, about family, and about uplifting. So naturally for us to do this, it's organic to us. So like you said, we may not have saw it
Is that
this way, but you know what? I feel like we were always meant to. It was always meant to be in a space. And sometimes you got to know that. And there's a lot of people in this world, whereas you don't know how you got called into a situation or called into a space, but you knew that there was something looming inside of yourself
what you
that
got called?
you needed to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Some people just show up and some
So,
people are cold. That's another one of those.
and that's the fact. But friend, it's savage question time.
Savage question
You see the savage?
time.
So anybody that knows, anybody that knows we do savage question time. So, Miss Well and Hook, are you ready?
I'm ready, friend.
All right. Do people support others when it's quiet or only when it's trending?
I'm gonna go hard in the paint when I answer that because I think
Okay.
that support
Okay.
comes
Okay,
from
Wonka.
when everybody else. I think support really does come in when other people see other people giving you support. Like I had to learn something years ago. The people that you think are going to naturally gravitate towards you or that you expect to gravitate towards stuff, they may not, right? And I think we set that expectation because you feel like your homies are always going to ride. That's not always the case. You get a lot of support from strangers that you never even encountered who tend to be people who be strong supporters. But after you get all of those strangers who are supporters, that's when everybody comes back and they be like, wow, cuz, wow, fam, wow,
Everybody know you.
homie. That's how people are. And I'm not saying through personal experience, but what I'm saying is that has been what I've encountered for a lot of people. Like they find themselves sitting, you know, they find themselves sitting in spaces where, like I said, support is not always generated by people who know you. And I see people complain. I was sitting around, we had this conversation last season where I said a friend of mine was utterly disgusted. He was like, yo, I've been working at this for many, many years. I've been grinding on something. And he's at the same people are always supporting. But he was like, there's so many other people that if I say, hey, free car, free crib, free accoutrement, they gonna show up. But if I say that they got to support in a different
Hello.
way, then maybe you coming out of pocket, they're nowhere to be found. So yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of people out there like that who let the support gets real loud. Everybody turns into a cheerleader. I think for all of the people in the music industry, all of those people who consider themselves celebrities, it ain't till your homeboy make it on to now you know all the words to his song. Now you at every performance and now you want the tickets to his show. You want to be sitting damn near up front and on stage. And I know plenty of people who have said that to me. They're like, yo, this the way that you will see people flip like a light switch. And that's not everybody. Day ones may be day ones, but there are people who do change their spots.
Let me tell you, you couldn't have said it better because I feel like I'm right there. Um, it's one of those things where you will have select, and I do when I say select, it might be one or two. But like you said, that rapper that's rapping, you might have a couple friends that be like, hey, listen to his music, support him, do this, that, and the third. But low key, he got about 20, 25 friends that ain't even bumping that man's his song or nothing like that. But because that's your man, you do it. And so it's one of those things where like you will have a couple people that will be like, hey, off the strength of friendship, yeah, we will support you. But I remember, I'm telling you right now, and this plays in my head one for you. I remember when we first was starting this, when we first was getting this together, you were like, be mindful. You was like, the people closest to you are not going to support you as hard as a stranger. And when I tell you that plays rent free, because a lot of times that is how it plays out. And I'm not going to say like, oh, my friends, like, people don't support me or whatever. But when I tell you, yes, I have had more strangers walk up to me and say, hey, I seen you. Hey, I'm following your stuff. Hey, you popped up on my For You page or whatever the case may be. And follow, subscribe, and do all these things. Yes. So that is the thing. And I remember you like mentally try to prepare me for that. So it is one of those things, but I do feel like a lot of people do try to support me when you're trending. Because let me tell you something right now. When you get up, and when I say up, when you get up and the money start flowing, because right now, like we always say, we love y'all for free. But when you get up and that money start flowing and stuff start happening, you in certain places where you able to go here and go there, and you got tickets and you got this and you flying out and you in different states and different places and different countries, wherever you may be. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those things where people definitely sit up there and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, okay, yeah, you popping. But everybody knows support you when you before you popping like that. So yes, I feel like when it's trending, people really do bang with you. But before that, you have select people that will pick and choose. You know, I gamble right here. I do this, that, this, that, and the third. And you have people that will sit up here and post and repost people they don't even know all day long.
I'm
But yeah, you as your friend or your
completely.
homegirl, they don't post nothing that you do.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you got an opportunity to see the new Spike Lee movie. A lot of controversy was happening around that. Some people said they loved it. Some people said they
You said
didn't.
what movie?
I personally, I loved it. I loved the Spike Lee movie. I feel like there was a lot of lessons that came out of that movie. The highest to lowest, highest to lowest, starring
I
Denzel
seen it.
and ASAP
I
Rocky.
seen it. Seen it.
Look, see, look, you lean to the side. But
I
let me
did.
explain something. The reason why I like it is because there were a lot of embed lessons inside of it. And I'm not going to tell everybody the whole story because if you didn't go see it, I like you to support Black films. I am one of those people who am a film enthusiast, especially a Black film enthusiast. But the thing that I liked about Highest to Lowest is that it put you in a tricky situation. And I'll just explain one of the scenarios. Like, if you had all the money in the world and you had a friend that was in trouble, or their family member was in trouble, and somebody was like, hey, I've been locked in with you since kidhood. Are you going to take care of me using the money that you have? Because if it was you and yours, if it was your family, you would do anything to take care of them.
You would
I
do
should
it.
be like family to you. Why wouldn't you take care of me and mine? I think that was such a question that came up that I was like, man, if everybody was put into that box, right? Because a lot of people call their friends family. They'd be like, oh, yeah, like that's like my sister, my cousin, my brother. But if it came between you and your money, you and your livelihood, or you and an actual family member, or it came down to a family member versus a friend, what would most people do? And so I feel like that movie, I
Like you
feel like
said,
it was
I
100
won't
percent. I
tell.
really encourage everybody to go out.
Like I said, I won't tell the movie up like that. But I feel like it was a part in there that you said that I'm like, did he really have it though? Did he though?
So that, well, you know what, that gets into a great area too. Is I think that so many people spend time people watching, right? So a part of that personality where people like
Yes.
to hop on the
Pocket watching
bandwagon,
too.
as we said,
Pocket watch.
right? They too. I'm gonna tell you, you know the expression everybody coins themselves rich auntie. I like rich auntie. I'll take it. I'll own it. I'll be rich auntie, right? Friend, you know we go in the rich auntie bag, right? But I'm gonna tell you something right now. I like to keep this very cute when it comes to people. I don't watch nobody else's coin, and I don't like anybody watching mine. So I tell people, if it's not real love or real support or real interest or real friendship, don't expect a high five out of me, let alone a dollar. Because I think that some people do go into those spaces thinking that because this person has money, or they think that people have a certain amount of money, that that money is easily accessible. And why wouldn't you care to do this or help me with that or give me this? Because that was something that came up in the film. It was like, yes, I have assets. Not all of them may be liquid, and I'm
Facts.
not going to give everything or go back to zero in effort to. But I mean, it's a lot of themes with that because, like I said, sometimes you gotta go
Let
from
me tell
high to
y'all
low.
something right
Sometimes you
now.
go from
I'm gonna tell you right now. So when we played that game and it said if your best friend called a charge, but they caught you instead, would you take the charge for your best friend? When I tell you the way we looked at each other, and was like, "You're going to jail, going to jail, going to jail today."
Dude, I
Because
want
what? Yeah, some
to
stuff
say
it's like
this.
you can't.
I put some money on the books. You may be able to get a
Bro, when
pardon
I
for
tell you,
attending
your snack package will
the
be
hotel.
top tier. Your snack package
Okay?
will be top tier. They be ready to fight you because your
Yep.
commissary is gonna be
Like some
lit.
Cheetos and Frito pies. Yep. Cheeto pies and Frito pies, all type of
But
stuff. Honey bun cakes, all of that. But
for
I would
real, you might
never, I
have
would,
you'll have an Xbox and everything else in there. But I'm not serving the bid. I don't know what you did. I'm not serving that bid. Love you, friend. I
yeah.
do. Love you to death. But you will have Xbox snacks, food and noodle Newports. You have everything you need. Hey, I'll figure it out. So you be the baddest chick in there.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think that the most difficult situation, bringing up the film that we were talking about, is that when you keep people in your circle that may not generate the same type of situation that you do, it gets hard because when they hit hard times, they are going to look
Mm.
at you like there was that whole situation with B. Simone. B. Simone's friend got on social media and was like, "You raggedy B." That's all I heard. I didn't even hear that else besides "you raggedy B," because she was like, "When I was at my lowest, when I didn't have nothing, you were out here gifting people like Lamborghinis and stuff, and you were out here breaking bread with the who's and whatnots." And you could tell it was they never had this conversation before. To me, it appeared that they had never had that conversation other than that moment. Like her
Mm-hmm.
friend took an opportunity to shoot her, to unload and say, look, that was a real situation for me. Like I was questioning everything because you didn't come to bat for me when I was going through my lowest. And I think for B. Simone, and I tried to put light to this for a lot of people, I was like, I don't consider her to be an A-lister. I think that she was somebody who just broke through in her industry and she was learning how to navigate and turn 15 into 20 and 20 into 30 and 30 into a year into possibly a lifetime. And I think that she was just learning that. So she's like, I got some money to play, but maybe I'm trying to get money to stay. And I think that became the situation that her friend missed out on because she was just like, all I see is you eating good.
Let me tell you, I don't even want to talk too much on B Simone because I really used to like be one of the people that really like followed her and was like, oh yeah, da 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 da. But I feel like she definitely set herself up in situations that she did not have to be in. And I'm gonna leave it there because it was a lot of situations she put herself in that she did not have to be
We'll
in.
cir-
As
we'll
far
circle
because
back
she,
to that.
yeah, we'll have to circle back. But yeah, yeah, it's about that time. You want to send them out?
I do. And so we are so happy that y'all are kicking it with us on episode 2. Because this is season 2, episode 2 of Who Woke the Savage, y'all. I'm your girl, Miss Well and Woke, kicking it with my lovely homie, Lady A Savage. We love our royals and our real
Late.
ones.
Yes.
So we want y'all to keep it rocking with us. We're gonna be live. If you didn't catch this episode here, Instagram, Riverside, I was like Facebook. You can catch this episode on YouTube. Continue to check in with us. If there's anything that you guys want to rap with us about, slide in the DMs. Don't be scared. We just said like your network is your network. So network. All right. So I hope y'all
For
have an
sure.
amazing night. And
Any topic y'all want to hear, any savage question, please DM them to me. Topics you can DM the both of us. Savage questions, DM. Let us know. We want to know what y'all want to hear. We're here for y'all for real. Like my homegirl always say, we love y'all for free.
we out.